All right, in this video, I'm going to show how we can connect to a Windows Server virtual machine from the Windows app in a Mac. So this assumes we've already got a Windows Server virtual machine created. Its security group is open so that we can actually connect to it. But how do we actually make that connection from a Mac computer? Well, Microsoft has created the Windows app. So I've got the App Store open, search for the Windows app. And the subtitle, previously remote desktop. So we're creating a remote connection to our Windows desktop environment. So we have to have that installed. I'm just going to go ahead and switch over to that app. And so this rearrange things just a little bit. So the Windows app says no devices right now, which is totally fine. Haven't made any connections yet. I'm going to switch over to Chrome, my web browser, so I can access the Amazon Web Services console. So open this console, I can see all the Amazon Web Services and our virtual machines will be in EC2. So I'm going to look at my instances, and I've got my Mark Wurtson Windows Server virtual machine there. It's been running for a few minutes, so it should be all warmed up and ready to go. I can see the status checks, 3 out of 3 have passed, so that's good news. That's what I want to see. So I'm going to check the box next to that virtual machine alone, and I'll go ahead and click Connect. And there's a bunch of different connections on here, and there's some warning messages. We're just going to ignore those because we're not going to use this session manager. We have to use the RDP client, the Remote Desktop Protocol client. And here's some information that I need to configure this connection on this device over here. So I can start recording that information right now. So I'm going to hit the plus icon to add a new device. And it's going to be a PC. Personal computer. We're connecting to a server, but we can treat it like a personal computer. That's fine. So click Add PC. Now the name will be this public DNS right here. I can just pop that in there. So I'll right click, copy that, because I don't want to type all that out. That would be no fun. That's like the address on the internet of this specific virtual machine. Now the username is going to be administrator. I'm not going to enter that right now. Notice here it says add PC credentials, ask when required. So I just need to have that administrator username memorized. Hopefully we can remember that. And I'll click add. But here we are. Here's the connection, but it's not active. I haven't actually done anything with it. I will need the password. So I'm going to click Get Password here. And we have to decrypt this password. So when we created it, we would have used our key. I'm going to switch back to a different tab to the Learner Lab environment. If we click AWS Details, we will see the key used to encrypt that password. If we download this PEM file, I'm going to save it to my desktop. I'm going to replace the one I just saved a few minutes ago. I'll have that key ready. So I'll come back to the console, the web management console, and I'll upload that key. So upload private key file. It's on my desktop. labsuser.pem, click open, decrypt password, and there's my password. So if you have this password, you can log into this machine. So before I post this video, I've got to make sure I change that password. But I'm just gonna click the copy button and it will copy that big nasty password to my clipboard. So I'll be ready to connect. So over in the Windows app, I'll just double click that PC connection. Username will be administrator. And the password, I'm gonna just paste that. I'll show it here, it should match exactly. And click continue. says, do you really want to connect? Yes, I do actually want to connect to it. I promise I want to connect. And now I will have my connection made, and it's huge. So it's taking a little bit. It's taken over my screen, but if you put your mouse at the top of the screen, you can minimize it and work with other stuff on your computer. I will exit full screen at the top left so I can see other stuff that's going on. But now I can see my machine. I've got the desktop experience for my Windows computer. I'm going to resize it just so it fits my screen recording just a little bit better. But now I can interact with this. I can go to the start menu. I can launch Notepad. It's going kind of slow right now. It'll go faster eventually. This is my file. So I can use any apps on that Windows computer that I need to use. I'm going to go ahead and close that. No, I don't want to save these changes, but I can open up Microsoft Edge and I can start without my data. I don't want to bring over any data. I don't want any of that stuff in Microsoft, thank you. Like I can go download Visual Studio Code. If I want to do some programming, you know, I can go download and install apps, treat this Windows Server Virtual Machine like my desktop computer, but it's going to live in Amazon's cloud. So all this is perfectly fine. So when I'm done with this, I can shut down that computer. I can simply log out. I can close the connection. The thing is that in the Windows app, when I look at this connection here, when I shut this down, so if I come back to Chrome and I'm like, all right, I'm all done. I end my lab. Don't finish doing all of my work, all that good stuff. If I click the End Lab button, it'll put that, well, I'll go ahead and do it. End lab. Do I want to end it? Sure. Well, my connection to this virtual machine is going to shut down automatically. Session was disconnected. All that's totally fine. Now, when I start up this lab again, this saved connection, sadly, it's not going to work anymore because the name of the machine, that IP address embedded in that name, it's going to be different every time I start up this lab. So sadly, if I want to connect to this again, easiest way is just delete it, honestly. Sure, delete it. And then when my lab starts up again, I'll click the AWS button to open up the web management console. I'm going to have to go through that process again. Now your password would be the same every time unless you specifically change it. So if you save that password in a password manager, you don't have to decrypt that password every single time. So that's nice. But I will have to click this plus to add a PC. The PC hostname I'll be able to get in just a minute once this lab warms up for me. But I'll just show this process start to finish one more time. At which point I will be changing that password on that Windows Server virtual machine. All right, lab started. I'm going to come to AWS. I'll come to EC2. I'll go to my instances. It's going to be starting up, so it might take a second before it finds it. I can clear this filter. Oh, it looks like it's in the stopped state. Okay, so I'm gonna check that box. It should start automatically, but it's just taking a little bit of extra time. So I'm just gonna manually start it. So it's pending starting state, status checks. It's a dash because it's not going yet. I think I stopped and started my lab too quickly that I just got confused. But that's fine. If I go to connect, the connection won't be ready just yet. But if I use RDP client here, I've got the DNS name again. Gonna copy. That will be the PC name. Click add. No credentials are saved in there. Because I put that on my clipboard, I no longer have my password on my clipboard. So I'll get that password again. Upload that private key file, find that labsuser.pem, decrypt it, click the copy button. I can try to connect right now, but it's still probably booting up. I can try administrator, paste that in there, continue. Really do want to connect, I promise. And yeah, we're in. I've got my virtual machine back. So that's what I would do if I'm using a Mac. I've created my Windows Server instance. I'm ready to connect. Make sure you're using the Windows app. Add a PC. Use the DNS name for the name of the PC. Decrypt your password using that labsuser.pem file. And then any changes you make, they should be saved like after you reboot. Like a couple weeks ago, I created a test text file. It's still there. So any work that you do on this machine will be saved until you terminate or delete it. Just don't terminate it. Terminate is like the big delete button. If you end your lab, or if I just did a shutdown, everything will be saved so you can pick up right where you left off. All right, I hope this is helpful.